Well, Ducati project update 96. Although it seems this does seem to be dragging on a bit. Plenty of frustrations going on with this engine. I'll get to those. But as you can see, the right hand side is more or less complete of the bottom end. So down here goes your start motor. It's sitting on a bench over there waiting. I'm gonna take it apart and clean it up and probably paint it as well. This is the idle gear for the start motor. So the start motor goes onto this gear, and then this gear drives this gear in behind, and then we have the flywheel, and then we have the generator rotor and a washer and a nut, and the gear shift sitting in behind it. So it was quite a job to get all the bits together for this. Always a good job when you're taking an engine apart to label things and put them together, even if they're dirty. But of course that wasn't done, hence the title of this thread. So if you don't know how a spread clutch works, spread clutch is sitting inside the hub inside here of the flywheel, and it locks up in one direction and rotates in the other. It's just a bunch of roller bearings in a cage, basically. So you can imagine if you're trying to start the engine, it rotates like that, and then as soon as the engine starts, that can just freewheel in the other direction. So it drives in that direction, doesn't in that direction. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now I've put the standard flywheel on because the standard flywheel is filled full of magnets in various locations. You can see these various dots for timing. Because it's a V-twin, you can't just have one magnetic pickup, you need a pair. Pickups aren't in yet. I haven't decided what I'm going to do pickup wise yet, but they basically fit in here and they sort of arc around here, and yeah, pick up off the various magnets in there. This is the gear that drives the timing shaft, which comes out on the other side of the engine, and that gear is driven off a little gear that just sits in behind there. So there's a gear, then this timing gear, and then we have a thrust washer, I think, is in between the two gears. So then we have this gear with then the flywheel with the spread clutch, and then the generator rotor. Now, I'm not going to be running a generator on this bike, but I don't have anything to bridge the gap between the thread on the shaft and the flywheel. So that's going to stay in. I could get a spacer made up, but I can't be bothered, to be honest. This bike's not a keeper. So that's that side more or less all done. A couple of little things to do on it. Might have to find some dowels, etc. In behind this gear we have a single Woodruff key. We have a Woodruff key holding the gear on back here, and we have a parallel key, holding the generator rotor on. So over on this side, haven't done much, but I've put on roughly in place these two pulleys for the cam belts, and that's just kind of tying up. That's kind of temporary because I need to get the cylinders and the heads on and all that done before I can figure out if these are in the correct position actually on the shaft. I've got a couple of washers in here. You need 2 washers for this flange to clear the casting, otherwise it scrapes on it. but it might be out too far. In that case, I might have to find some thinner washers to go in there and move it inboard a little bit by a millimetre maybe. So on here I've got that's the primary drive gear, and the straight cut smaller part of the gear drives the oil pump. So I've already sort of pre-assembled that gear and the oil pump onto the end of the crankshaft. There's the keyway for the primary gear, which is on a taper anyway. So basically that goes on like that, and then it's keyed. Now in the manual, you say item number 10 there, and up here they see linguetta incastrita 4x5x16 woodruff key. Woodruff key. Hang on. That doesn't look like a slot for a woodruff key. If you don't know, that is a woodruff key. There. That is a parallel key. So I've bought some key stock 4x4, and yep, fits right in there. Just have to cut it down to length basically and put it in, because can't find anything. Managed to find one for the for this side, but yeah, I had to buy some key stock basically to do that. So that's kind of next job, is to put primary gear on, put the clutch basket on, make sure our gears are meshing fine, and I don't need to put a washer or shim or whatever back here. And yeah, then generally, well, once I've cut that key, I can build up everything in this side. I've got everything to build this side up. So that's something I can be getting on with before I tackle the next saga.